All right, welcome back to Lost for Words with Lori. It is Sunday, April 10th. It's another late night because that's what the Lori do. I hope everyone is doing well and had a great weekend. And as it seems to come to pass, I get into my feels and I think it's time to do another podcast, right? So I want to give you guys all a big weekend recap and let you know what's been going on in my world and talk about healing. I think the theme that's really resonated. There are no coincidences, folks. There really aren't. But the journey that I took this weekend and how that kind of has really gotten me thinking about all of the craziness that is my healing journey and what's been going on with that as of late. So we had a little road trip, me and my boys, the Wolf and the Hound, and we went to Tennessee. So they could investigate a haunted prison for their YouTube channel. And you guys know I don't do that thing. I don't do the ghost hunting thing. But, because Toby was a paranormal investigator and I've met some pretty amazing people along that path, I still go along for the adventure and the journey on those things. But that was what we did this past weekend. So to kind of digress for people who don't know the background that goes with that, Toby and Sam had this collaboration in October when they both got sick with COVID, and leading up to Toby, passing away, and it's just kind of ironic and crazy that I lost my soulmate and Sam lost a brother. And when you talk about the grief process and you talk about the journey that goes along with healing, it's everybody processes that so differently, and it's hard and it takes a lot of time, and it's a never-ending process. And I've just been managing this path the best that I can, and everybody has to do that on their own time, right? And I had posted on Facebook the other day about how when Toby died, I lost everything and I lost my soulmate, but I also gained a wolf and a hound, my boys, my new traveling companions, my best friends. And this weekend, being able to go and take them to their investigation and reconnect with Sam, who we went through a pretty traumatic experience together. It was like the start of a whole new healing process for all of us. And I can't express how interesting, but how amazing that was for me personally. We were all getting together to do this collab, and our new friend came all the way from Vegas with her husband, to do this wonderful YouTube collaboration, and that's what they were all looking forward to. But there were so many underlying other things that were going on behind the main theme of all of us getting together, and that had a lot to do with healing. And it had, for me personally, and I can't speak for the other people that all met in this, but we all had this unique bond based on a lot of experiences that we've all been through in the last year, and some of them together and some of them not together. But all of us being able to share our experiences together and meet in the middle and have a common purpose, but at the same time be able to share in each other's real life situations and be able to learn and heal and grow with those things has been a really wonderful eye-opening thing for me. And you guys know, if you listen to my podcast, how important talking and thinking and digesting and unwrapping those experiences and the meaningful lessons behind those are to me, and how important they've become for me, and to share them out loud, so that other people can share them too, and hopefully learn something along, from what I'm learning. I've learned so much about the grief process over the last 5 months, and how it affects people differently based on their relationship with the person who's passed. And it does affect everybody differently. And I've never been more grateful to have a group of people around me who have accepted me and how I'm dealing with it, and have been so good to me in the process, and have been such great friends. And this weekend was really part of that for me, and it was really wonderful to just go and do that thing. And it was a spur of the moment for me kind of thing to just be like, okay, I was grateful to be invited, but to just go, all right, I'm gonna take off for 36 hours with my friends and do this thing. And it was just a great adventure, and make it fun and exciting, and make it a bonding experience for all of us. And it really was, and it felt great. And when I got home, I felt great, and I still feel great. And these kinds of lessons are really important to me, and they make me feel optimistic, and they make me feel good about my future, and also about the future of the people that I choose to call my friends, because they're happy, and they're learning, and they're growing, and they're evolving, and they're happy too, and I can tell that they're growing and feeling good about the positive movement in their lives, and we're all doing it together, and it feels really good, and I'm grateful for that. But yeah, this trip was a very eye-opening experience for me, and it was very healing in a lot of ways. Toby wanted to do this trip, not to Brushy Mountain, but we were supposed to go to Tennessee, and we were supposed to do I was supposed to see the mountains. I never got to see them. I got to see them this weekend. I got to do some of the things that I wanted to do. Granted, it sucked not having him there, but I felt like he was almost guiding us in a way, making sure that we were safe, making sure that everything was okay, and there were no hiccups, and there was no bad juju. There was no bad anything. It was just wonderful. And so it felt okay, and it felt good. And I didn't feel bad or feel guilty or feel sad, I mean, yeah, I feel sad when Toby's not around, but I didn't feel like I can't go do things just because I'm by myself and Toby's not here, So it felt good. It felt good to have my friends share in that with me, and for me to be allowed to go along and do those things, even though I'm technically not a paranormal investigator. I'm not one of them, but they accept me as part of their tribe, as part of their family, and that feels good, and I'm grateful for that. And then today I worked, so I was tired, and then I received a phone call from a friend back home, who has been one of my closest friends for many years, and we've been through so much life together back home, and we haven't talked a lot since I moved here. And we had an opportunity to talk for about 2.5 hours this evening, and it was a conversation that just blows my mind, and it was one that we both needed, and it was amazing. And again, you talk about healing. It was being able to talk to her about the things that I've been through in the last 5 years, and her being able to share her story with me. And again, you talk about healing. It's much needed soul healing about the things and knowing that you've made good decisions about your life and the path that you've taken and the positive changes that it has had on you. And even though I may be going through some of the hardest things that people ever have to experience with my grief process and with losing Toby, knowing that because of the people I have around me, I'm going to be okay at some point. And they're going to be there every step of the way. And I don't feel so alone and so terrified to do what's necessary to process all of this loss. And I'm going to make it one way or another. I've got a great amount of people around me in my first world and in my virtual world who will be there every step of the way. And they'll be there. I have people who will catch me if I fall. And I don't think I've ever felt that way in my adult life before. And I'm grateful for that. So, moving forward, it just means that it's okay for me to heal. It's okay for me to move forward, and to continue to learn the lessons that I'm learning, and be optimistic about a future. And I still have no clue what my future looks like, and I don't care. I can still do one day at a time, and I can still be on that path that I started 4 months ago, to keep trying to be the best version of myself every day, and continue to just do better and be the best that I can. But I'm grateful, and I feel like that healing process is continuing. This weekend is just surreal, I think is the word I'm looking for. Because in the moment, it feels perfect. And then when you sit back and really unpack it, when it's all over, and you just go, wow. There's so many things underneath, the big picture, and there's so many little lessons in there, and it feels good to be able to the light bulb go off, and go, aha, this is the way it's supposed to be. So moving forward, one day at a time, bitches, one day at a time. But I'm grateful, and I'm humbled, and I feel like the healing process has begun to really ramp up for me, and every day is just a new adventure, and I'm hoping that it is for everyone around me as well, that they continue to keep walking that wonderful path that tells them that they can, and they will, and they are, and yeah, I'm happy, and I'm excited, and I'm content. So that's about all I really had to say. It was a great weekend. The mountains are gorgeous. I can't wait to go back. Just looking forward to many, many more wonderful things to come, and to continue processing all of this as it comes, and appreciate all you listening to me talk about it. Got many more ideas, many more things to come. New friends, new trips, new adventures. But until then, remember to wash your fucking hands and be a good human. Catch you next time.